Hey, what's going on, gang? Day 3 of my water only fast, and I'm trying to figure out how many more days I'm going to go. If you are doing a water fast as well, hopefully you just let me know below and what day are you on or when you're going to start it. I've had a lot of comments over the years. I typically do this a few times per year, extended fasts, at least a couple, like definitely the beginning of the year, because I love to set the new year on a specific tone. Regardless of what you think, I don't really believe in resolutions. I believe in routines and habits, but there is a palpable consciousness or feeling around the new year where it just makes sense to start off 2025 with a great habit and a routine and really mental discipline. Of course, you can fast for a lot of different reasons. One reason is the mental discipline, because if you can abstain from eating, you can do anything. Now, personally, I've never been addicted to serious drugs or anything like that, but in my opinion, I think eating is the hardest habit that you could actually break. In America, specifically, we eat when social. I mean, we're always putting stuff in our mouth. It's crazy. And of course, we lead the world in chronic diseases, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, obesity, things of that nature. So, fasting for like mental discipline, like just having your mind control your body at all times, like that's one great component and why I do it, because I'm in control of my body, not the other way around. And if you can abstain for 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 days or whatever you're going to do, even one day, start off in baby steps, right? It's huge, because if you can do this, you can do anything else. Now, the other thing is if I actually had a health problem, which I don't, but if I did, the very first thing that I would do with a chronic disease is fast. It reduces inflammation, stem cell regeneration around day 3. It does so many things, and it cleans the body out through a process called autophagy, which is basically where your body eats all the bad cells and regenerates new cells. It's a powerful process. We have this built-in cleanse, this built-in detox that it seems very few people still know about. So I'm a huge advocate, and when I was in practice full time, I saw disease reversal all the time by using fasting, therapeutic fasting, because you give your body a break. But regardless, it's good to do every year. And one of the things that I've done throughout the year, and I'm going to try to do a better job this year, is I'd like to take one day, at least one day, and do a whole 24-hour water fast on top of the intermittent fasting. We just eat way too much in this culture, and I mean it's just the reality. We just came back from 3 weeks in Switzerland, and it is very fascinating to compare different cultures and the habits and the eating. And yes, you can certainly be gluttonous there, and I honestly was on a few days, but it's just interesting to look in the United States, and it's kind of very easy to see why we have the conditions that we do. So if you are on day 1, 2, or 3, let me know. Love to hear your story. And from what I've experienced, and I've done this many, many times, so my withdrawal symptoms aren't as bad. When you do any type of water fast, you might get a headache. You might have some achy joints and bones and like, oh my gosh, do I have the flu or something? But it's just your body really getting rid of a lot of the garbage and cleaning house, essentially. Sometimes you can have a film on your tongue, on your teeth. Your breath and your stool can change odor and whatnot. And what's crazy is after, everyone's different on this, but after 3 to 4 days, the bad breath goes away typically, and also your stool doesn't smell like it used to. It's kind of wild, but you're cleaning yourself from the inside out, and it's just such a powerful process. If you've never done it before, you really owe it to yourself, for a lot of different reasons, health-wise and the mental discipline factor. I think it's a really important, critical way of leading an optimal life in so many regards. Other symptoms, like I was actually, I get a little colder when I fast, because your body is burning initially. It's burning some fat and muscle and whatnot. And so you definitely lose some weight. I think I lost probably 5 pounds so far. And because we were in Europe for a few weeks, we walked a lot. I probably gained a couple pounds, which is uncharacteristic when I'm over there. I usually lose weight, but I had to indulge on so much. I felt like, but yeah, I get a little cold when I fast sometimes. Didn't have any headaches or really strong withdrawal symptoms at all. I sleep better typically in the first few nights of the fast, because your body is just solely working on healing itself and your gut. You don't have any other distractions in there. So I've completed 3 days almost to the T, 72 hours. I plan on going 4 days. I could definitely go longer, 6 days, and maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see how tomorrow goes. But I do find on day 4, for me personally, I just want to eat. It's like I just want to eat. Day 1, 2, 3, I can prepare food for the kids or do whatever in the kitchen and stuff like that. But I just get the wanting on day 4. And then that's when you realize, I think, that especially in our culture, a lot of it is just wanting to eat. And of course, depending on how terrible your diet is, if you're on the standard American diet, the SAD, certain types of foods can mix up the responses and cause you to think that you're hungry when you're really not. So you should drink a glass of water instead. But yeah, so I'm curious on how your journey is going so far. Mine's going well, and like I said, I don't know if I'm going to break it tomorrow or on day 6. I'll see how I feel. I bought some celery. I always break it with raw fruit, raw vegetables, usually like celery. Sometimes oranges. And it just makes for a cleaner break that way. I wouldn't recommend just going back to a big T-bone steak and glass of wine after you fast, because that kind of defeats the purpose of reducing the inflammation, depending on what type of steak you're eating or wine you're drinking, right? But yeah, and the great thing is if you research immune system regeneration or stem cell creation after 3 days in a fast, there's, modern science is catching up with what the ancients have known for a very, very long time in terms of how it heals the body. But it is interesting how stem cells get regenerated and triggered through this whole process, and especially after day 3 is when a lot of the real magic kicks in. But if you're just starting out, just getting in the habit of doing 1 day only water, like mind over matter type of thing, nothing's going to happen to you. It's just the fact of breaking it. If you drink a lot of coffee and teas, sometimes you will get a pretty big headache on the first day, or sodas, because that stuff typically has some pretty severe withdrawal symptoms. Or if you've just been pounding the refined sugar, you're eating a lot of boxed and processed foods, when you stop eating those, you might get a pretty bad symptoms. It's manageable, totally. But I would encourage you, because it's one of the best things you can do for your body, health and wellness, and also your mental acuity. I always think faster and better on fasts. When you sleep a lot and when you fast, again, it's like the brain, like the bad cells get eaten up and then the good cells come out to play, and your synapses fire faster, right? So I just wanted to give you an update on day 3, entering day 4 of my water-only fast. I drink spring water typically. You get some minerals in there. I don't normally put any salt or electrolytes in, but you can. Some people do that for sure. And there are different variations of fasts. There's 2 great books that I read a very long time ago. One was called Fasting Can Save Your Life by Herbert Shelton. The other one was The Miracle of Fasting by Paul Bragg. And there have been many great fasting books that are written ever since, and you can certainly check out those or review some other ones. But I am old school. I definitely like to feel and be in touch with my body, and I think a lot better, and I move a lot better. Now, I don't do too much exercise usually I'll still go walking and maybe a couple miles. We have a hilly neighborhood, so sometimes that can get a little exhausting. I don't lift any super heavy weights like I would normally do weight training on a fast. I abstain. Some do. I don't recommend it personally, because your body needs to get used to that before you go hardcore. But anyway, that's my update from day 3. Let me know what you are thinking and how your update's coming along. Start the new year strong, healthy, and wise. So that's right, Craig. Autophagy. Huge, 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 huge. So look forward to hearing your experience, and I shall chat soon. Cheers.